Hello and welcome to another edition of Main Street Connect's FCIAC Football Fast 5. Everything you need to know about Fairfield County High School football in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Eric Gendron. With me again is former Stamford High School head football coach and professional football scout for JL Sports, Kevin Jones. Kevin, great to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, I'll ask 5 questions about Fairfield County High School football, and you'll need to answer them fast. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, question 1. Greenwich found out 3 days before its season opener that it would be without starting quarterback Liam O'Neill due to concussion, an injury he dealt with last year. Then the Cardinals went out and beat Richfield 16-3 on Friday without scoring a single point on offense. How much do the Cardinals need O'Neill back? And can the defense, which we really didn't talk about last week, help them?
I think you always want to have your starting quarterback. That goes without saying. But the key here is they won without him. Defensively, they outscored Richfield 7-3. So when you look at it, there's 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. They added another 9 points on special teams. You got to believe they're going to be okay going forward, because this offense will get rolling eventually.
All right, question 2. 2 teams we did not talk about last week came up with some impressive wins: Norwalk High and Fairfield Warde. What's going to lead to more success? Norwalk's stingy defense or the Mustangs' run game behind Devin Lofton?
Well, Devin Lofton probably opened up a lot of eyes with his 200 all-purpose yards. He had the game winner with about 1:15 left. But having said that, you need a passing game to go along with the run game. You can't be one-dimensional. Coaches in this league are going to game plan you, and they'll take him away if you don't have something else to go back to. So I'll give the edge to the Norwalk defense, because when you play in a back-and-forth game like Norwalk did this week, and when they needed it, defense stepped up, made the play, had the interception at the end to win the game. That's the kind of thing you can build on going forward for the rest of the season. So I'll give the edge to the Norwalk defense.
Question 3. We had a couple of blowouts this past weekend. Which one means more? New Canaan's 49-6 win over Bassick, or Stanford's 43-0 thrashing of Harding?
Best part about this question is that both coaches were so upset with their team's performance, yet they outscored their opponents 92-6 combined. They have to calm down. It's week 1. No one's played a perfect game yet. I think for New Canaan, what they found out is that they've been able to replace Kevin McCary, who's out of Georgetown University, and they got a new guy in Connor Kilbane, who caught 3 touchdown passes, and Matt Milano, the quarterback, senior leadership, picked it right up where he left off and had a great game. Stanford, I really believe they didn't take any steps back in the offseason. That's what they found out, and that's crucial for their success. They picked up on late season success, fired on all cylinders, and they scored 2 touchdowns on defense, so they're probably even improved in that area, and going forward, that's going to be big for them.
Question 4. Staples' defense looked close to unbeatable in the opener. That secondary was something to behold there. I saw it firsthand. Are they now the early front runner in the FCIAC, or is it still too early to call?
It is too early to call. This is like the baseball guys in April saying, if the playoffs were to start today. We can't do that yet, but we did both pick Staples in our show last week. So they struggled in the passing game. I think they only had 8 yards of passing in the first half, and they really couldn't find an offensive rhythm in that first half, and they got it going in the second half. But their run game, they have a junior running back, Joey Zelkowitz. I mean, are you kidding me? This kid had 14 carries, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had a 71-yard touchdown call back in the first series of the game. So, that's player of the week stuff in my mind. He had a really, really good game. They get him going with a passing game, they're going to be tough to beat.
And that'll bring us once again to our Main Street Connect Game of the Week this Saturday at 6 p.m. Stanford at Norwalk. Which will prevail, the high-flying offense of Stanford or the stone-cold defense of Norwalk this Saturday?
Well, the best part about this game is with the proximity and the similarity of the schools, the emotions run high. They've played some wild games in the past. I know because I was a part of some of those wild ones. In my experience, it's always comes down to which team makes a critical error late in the game. They're tight games. There's never really been a blowout. And which team can keep their composure late in the game, that's going to be the difference between winning and losing. If you look at the 2 defenses, both were outstanding. We talked about Norwalk's defense and Stanford scoring twice on defense, having a solid performance. They have a linebacker. If you haven't seen him yet, Matt Corcoran. Kid brings the woodpecker to the wood. You got to come check this kid out. If you go on offense, the clear advantage goes to Stanford. Right? They have so many weapons. The Bodder twins firing on all cylinders in week 1. I think it's going to be a very tight game. Score might surprise some people, but of course I'm going to go with Stanford, and it's either going to be a 14-13 game or 59-58. It's going to be tight. I just don't know how many points are going to get scored.
Well, that'll do it for another week of questions answered in the FCIAC. Special thanks to SE Video Productions this week. Until next time, I'm your host, Eric Gendron.